Georgia today, former Lieutenant Governor Geoff Duncan switches to Democratic Party. Breaking news, Georgia's political landscape shifts. Former Lieutenant Governor Geoff Duncan makes historic party switch. Are you ready for the latest updates from the Peach State? On today's episode of Georgia Today, we're diving into the most pressing news stories that will keep you informed and engaged. Story 1. A shocking party switch. What does it mean for Georgia's politics? Imagine waking up to find that a prominent political figure has switched teams. That's exactly what happened when former Lieutenant Governor Geoff Duncan announced his departure from the Republican Party to join the Democratic Party. This bold move, revealed in an editorial published in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, has left many wondering about the implications for Georgia's political landscape. According to University of Georgia political science professor Charles Bullock, Duncan's decision might resonate with moderate Republicans who have grown disillusioned with the party's direction under former President Donald Trump. But here's where it gets controversial. Could this move signal a broader shift in Georgia's political allegiances? Share your thoughts in the comments. Story 2. Justice served or miscarriage of justice? The verdict on the Johnny Holman case. A grand jury's decision not to indict a former Atlanta police officer in the death of church deacon Johnny Holman has sparked heated debates. With the autopsy revealing a homicide and heart disease as contributing factors, many are left questioning the justice system. The officer's lawyer claims he did nothing wrong, while the district attorney's office hints at a possible retrial. What's your take on this sensitive issue? Do you think justice was served, or was a mistake made? Join the conversation. Story 3. Healthcare in crisis. Nonprofit prepares for influx of patients amid federal cuts. As federal cuts to health insurance programs loom, a Northeast Georgia nonprofit health center, Mercy Health Center, is bracing for an influx of patients. With wait lists already stretching up to 3 months for new patient appointments, CEO Dr. Cole Phillips is scrambling to find innovative solutions, including enlisting medical students. How do you think communities can come together to support? Should local governments have the right to regulate firearms storage? Or does state law supersede such ordinances? Weigh in. Story 5. Express lanes and congestion relief. A $4 billion solution for Atlanta's traffic woes. U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy has announced a nearly $4 billion loan to construct express lanes on a key highway north of Atlanta. This ambitious project promises to alleviate congestion and offer variable price tolls for drivers seeking a faster commute. Will this solution effectively tame Atlanta's notorious traffic? Share your thoughts on the potential impact. Story 6. The human cost of progress. Southwest Atlanta residents seek relief amid ongoing construction. As the city embarks on the Safe Streets project, redesigning Cascade Road to enhance safety for pedestrians, drivers, residents and businesses, and cyclists, local businesses are feeling the pinch. Trinket Lewis, owner of a juice bar, shares her struggles from changed hours due to unaffordable after-school care to the financial burden of repeated tire replacements. How can cities better support local businesses during infrastructure development? Offer your suggestions. Story 7. Preservation versus business. Progress. The fate of a 100-year-old landmark. Georgia State University's plans to demolish a historic former power substation to make way for a new green space honoring Greek life history have sparked controversy among preservationists. While the university promises to reuse bricks and include a mural tribute, many lament the loss of a piece of history. Do the benefits of progress outweigh the importance of preserving historical landmarks? Story 8. Shining a light on affordability. 400 Georgia homeowners to receive free solar panels. Thanks to a federally funded program, Georgia Bright Solar for All, hundreds of homeowners will enjoy significantly reduced electric bills, with applications open until September 7th. This initiative aims to make energy more affordable and reliable. How can such programs be replicated or expanded to benefit more communities? Share your insights. Story 9. Transforming Education. Fernbank Museum's ambitious renovation plans. The Fernbank Museum of Natural History and Science is embarking on its largest renovation in 33 years, transforming exhibits and enhancing accessibility. What innovative educational initiatives would you like to see incorporated into this project? Contribute your ideas. Story 10. Celebrating Local Roots, Georgia Farmers Market Week. In honor of Georgia Farmers Market Week, Commissioner Tyler Harper highlights the importance of supporting local markets and vendors. How do you celebrate and support your local agricultural community? Share your stories. Story 11. A Maestro's Journey. A.R. Rahman on music, spirituality, and breaking barriers. Oscar and Grammy winner A.R. Rahman sat down with GPB's Christy Wooten to discuss his illustrious career from Bollywood to Hollywood. What inspires you about A.R. Rahman's story? Reflect on the power of music to transcend boundaries and cultures. Stay informed, stay engaged. Visit gpb.org/news for in-depth coverage of these stories and more. Subscribe to our podcast to stay current, and share your feedback at georgiatoday@gpb.org. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of Georgia Today. Explore more. https://www.gpb.org/news. Former GOP leader turns Democrat. Why Heartless policies drove him away. Imagine a political party that has become so disconnected from its core values that it's now being called heartless by one of its own former leaders. This is exactly what's happening with the Republican Party, as former Georgia Lieutenant Governor Geoff Duncan has just announced that he's leaving the GOP to join the Democrats. But here's where it gets interesting. Duncan's decision wasn't just sparked by one particular event or policy, but rather a culmination of the party's actions over time, which he believes have become increasingly at odds with his Christian faith and the golden rule of love thy neighbor. As he wrote in a recent editorial, there's no date on a calendar or line in the sand that points to the exact moment in time my political heart changed, but it has. So what exactly led to this change of heart? For Duncan, it all started with the realization that the modern Republican Party's principles were making it difficult for him to observe his Christian faith, particularly when it came to issues like Medicaid funding, tax cuts for the ultra-wealthy, and immigration policies. Take, for example, the recent decision by Republicans in Washington to slash Medicaid funding by a staggering $911 billion over the next 10 years. As Duncan pointed out, this move will not only make it more complicated and expensive for states to expand Medicaid, but it will also have a devastating impact on the most vulnerable members of society. And this is the part that most people miss. The fact that these policies are being implemented at a time when nearly 20% of children in Georgia lack consistent access to food. But that's not all. The GOP's big, beautiful bill also cuts SNAP benefits, which will only exacerbate the problem. And then there's the issue of immigration policies, which Duncan believes have become a lesson on how not to love your neighbor. The recent military-style raids on undocumented but law-abiding families, for instance, are not only heartless but also pointless. So what does this mean for the future of the Republican Party? Is it possible for the party to reclaim its core values and become more inclusive and compassionate? Or will it continue down a path that's increasingly at odds with the principles of Christianity and the Golden Rule? These are questions that we should all be asking ourselves. and it's time for a nuanced and thoughtful discussion about the future of politics in America. But here's the thing. Duncan's decision to leave the GOP and join the Democrats is not just a personal choice, but also a reflection of the broader trends that are happening in American politics. As he noted, his list of reasons for switching parties continues to grow, and he believes that, as a Democrat, it's much easier to love thy neighbor. But what do you think? Do you agree with Duncan's assessment of the Republican Party, or do you think he's being too harsh? Should the party be doing more to address issues like Medicaid funding, tax cuts, and immigration policies? Let us know in the comments. And this is the part where we ask, what's next for the Republican Party? Will it continue to evolve and become more inclusive, or will it remain stuck in its ways? The answer, much like Duncan's journey, is complex and multifaceted. But one thing is certain. The future of American politics will be shaped by the choices we make today, and it's up to us to create a more just and compassionate society for all.